When we look at the most powerful tools in personal growth, and there's a lot of them, one of the most amazing ones is that of forgiveness. Forgiving ourselves and especially forgiving others for something that they've done that's hurt us. But before we go to forgiveness, before forgiveness will catch, before you're able to absolutely forgive someone and have it stick, there's some things that you've got to do that most of us don't think about or talk about or have not been taught yet. But we're going to learn it right here today. Hi, I'm David Essel. Okay, the bottom line is forgiveness rocks. You know, Buddha said, he has a great quote that he said, every resentment you hold against someone else is like holding a hot coal in your hand before you throw it. You always get burned first. And it's true of resentments. Lack of forgiveness is one of those things that keep us tied to the past. So if it's a parent, if it's a sibling, if it's a former partner, former lover, former husband, wife, it could be a child that you actually brought into the world that you hold this great, immense resentment against. And I know I've worked with people for 20 years now that have said, you expect me to forgive my father for doing that, or you expect me to forgive God for doing this, or you expect me to forgive my former husband or wife for doing that? Like, what are you, insane? And as we work together over time, and I've never had anyone not eventually end up where I'm going to tell you that we can be, is they end up free. They end up released from the prison that they created in the past. They've let the other person go. And I have another YouTube video on forgiveness, and we offer the two types of forgiveness, forgiveness and staying or forgiveness and releasing. And you can check that out right here on our Super Slowdown channel. But today I want to say this, is that before we even go to forgiveness, no matter how awesome forgiveness is, and I know it's really awesome, no matter how free we can be, no matter how our attitude can change and our energy can change once we've forgiven someone who has really hurt us in the past, we've got to feel the anger, the pain, the resentment. We've got to feel it at an amazingly deep level before we can release it. Now, I know there's a lot of programs out there that teach us that all you need to do is forgive so-and-so for doing whatever and everything will be fine. And I get those clients in every month into my office that are still filled with resentment, and now they've got something on top of their resentment. It's called guilt. And they say, you know what, David, I was listening to my minister, or I was listening to a priest, or I was listening to a television radio show, or I read a book 20 years ago about how they said, you just have to forgive this person. And I've tried and I've tried and I've tried, and I thought I forgave them, and then I saw them out and I got all kinds of irritated, or because of the fact we have a child together, I've got to contact them all the time and I hate them. I just hate them. But I'm supposed to forgive them, and now I feel like I'm a bad Jew, Christian, spiritual person, whatever it might be. You know, and I feel really bad for these people inside because they haven't been taught the key crucial ingredient before you can forgive at the deepest level, and that is you must feel your pain. I take people through exercises so they get to the core of their anger against that person that hurt them so deeply, that they express their anger, they feel their anger. Because until you get to that place where you feel your anger without guilt, where you write about it, where you process it, where you get it to the point where it's on the surface, and then it starts to loosen its hold on you, then you're ready to forgive. But you know what? I'm really sorry to go against all the books and teachings out there. Until we can feel that anger and resentment at its highest level, the forgiveness probably won't stay. It'll be this temporary. It'll be frosting on a moldy cake. It'll look good, you'll feel good, oh, I've forgiven my former partner, I've forgiven them, and then all of a sudden you haven't seen them in 10 years and they show up and you feel your stomach like knot up, and then we realize we haven't forgiven them at all. So I'm going to tell you, now, sometimes in my sessions when I work with people, I'll actually take them through what we call a premature forgiveness exercise, where I know they're not ready to forgive. I know that there's no way they could forgive yet because they're still so ticked off, and I have them write letters of forgiveness that they just bring in the office for them and myself to share. And I'm forcing them to do something uncomfortable, and then we go back into the anger and resentment. So I will do a dance sometimes, which is a highly effective way to break someone who's got this incredible resentment and to sort of force them into a forgiveness. But I know it's not going to last. It's done as an exercise. It's a tool to get them to a new level. Most of us, though, I promise you, most of us, if we don't go to that deep anger and resentment first for whoever it is that's hurt us, all the forgiveness work in the world is going to be surface work. It's not going to go into your heart and soul. If I can help you, and I've helped millions of people forgive God and forgive their parents for hellacious acts, their partners for hellacious acts, I would love to work with you one-on-one. Contact me via talkdavid.com, talkdavid.com. It's incredible how effective this is. And a lot of people that have deep-seated anger and resentments will have manifestation in the physical world like depression and migraine, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, all kinds of physical illnesses, back pain, neck pains, that they can't figure out where they're coming from. And we find out that it's an emotional anchor. And we can break that emotional anchor with true forgiveness if first we go through the anger and resentment. Let me know if I can help you. If you know people that have resentments, and we all do, against people in their life, and you know it's hurting them, please share this video with them. We need to get this message out because the formula we're using ain't working. And there is a formula that works, and we can help people with it, okay? Don't forget also to sign up for our Super Slowdown account here at YouTube. Once you get your own YouTube Gmail account, you can sign up at Super Slowdown and have every one of our videos directly sent to you, okay? Have an awesome day. Let's work through forgiveness. Let's work through the anger. Let's finally get to a deep space of forgiveness where the past is where it's supposed to be, in the past, and you're free. I'm David Essel.